Welcome back to my channel. I'm James, and today we're going to be talking about one of these like hero, zero hero, superhero, making fun of superheroes, but just a fun movie that I really enjoyed watching. So I'm excited to announce we're going to deep dive into Mystery Men, the brand new 4K Ultra HD release from Kino Lorber. Now this is the 1999 superhero film called Mystery Men, and it is one of those films that a lot of people misunderstood when it originally came out. It was never intended to be a serious, like, you know, Thor or any of these Disney movies that are coming out. It was really kind of just a making fun of the superhero genre, but doing it in a lighthearted way and looking at things from a more average person's viewpoint if superheroes really existed in the world and everybody kind of wanted to be a hero but didn't have any superpowers, and some might have had a little bit, and there's a lot of complex things in it. Now the movie's not complex, the movie's just fun, kick back, don't take it too seriously. It's not an Academy Award winner, but it is a personal favorite of mine. It's just a really fun, sit back, have a laugh along the way, and not take it too seriously type of movies. So today we're going to be doing my exclusive 4K versus the original Blu Ray release image comparisons. Then at the end, I always wrap it up with my review score to let you know how this compares to hundreds of other 4Ks I've tested and reviewed exclusively here on my YouTube channel. Now, big shout out and thank you to Kino Lorber as usual for sending this to me 3 weeks early for review, so that I could dive in and do all this testing for you, make this review, and let you know if this is something you should buy before the release date or if it's something you should skip. So I always appreciate when the studios send me these things early for review, but that never affects my review score or my thoughts on the release. As most of you know that have followed me over the years, just because something's sent for review, it doesn't ever affect all of my testing data or my thoughts on how this compares to all of the other releases I've tested and reviewed. Now to start off with here, I'm going to show you my original 2012 Blu-ray release from Universal. Now this is the original Blu-ray release that they released. There's several things you need to be aware of and keep in mind with that release. It was a poorly encoded transfer. It was very soft in a lot of scenes. It was lacking a lot of fine details. The color and color grading was off on it. It always had some weird colors in certain scenes and just looked off altogether compared to when I saw it in theaters. On top of that, it was very much had scenes with DNR throughout it, that randomly you'd get a scene that you'd see some film grain, and then another scene would be completely waxy and smooth, and then back to seeing some film grain. And it was really just kind of all over the place. The 2013 Blu-ray was never outstanding, amazing, or great. It was really kind of just one of those poor Blu-ray transfers from early on in the Blu-ray era, and I always enjoyed the film, so I just put up with it when I watched it and just took those limitations and knew that's just how it was going to look. But I always hoped for something more, because when I saw it in theaters, when I originally saw the film, it looked so good and it had such great vibrancy and colors, and the darks looked great and the lights looked great, but the Blu-ray didn't. So in comparison to the new 4K Ultra HD release from Kino Lorber, this is a native 4K 2160p. As you're noticing right away in those image comparisons, these are always the native images pulled from these discs. That's without all the things you artificially can do on your TV to change color saturation or contrast. But these are the native images you see up above. But keep in mind with the 4K, it always dumbs them down from HDR10 down to standard HDR. So what you see for the 4K will only look better on your home TV, especially if you have Dolby Vision. It will only look better than what you see in the images above. Now this new 4K was created from a brand new 4K scan of the original film elements with a brand new color grading and HDR10 and Dolby Vision Master. And let me tell you, if you have not noticed in those images above comparing it to the old Blu-ray, it is one of those shocking night and day 4K 2160p transfers that really did shock and surprise me, all of the differences. The details and the depth to the image shines through amazingly well on this 4K Ultra HD release. You can see their costume details, their facial details. The new color grading really was kind of a revelation for this film in and of itself, because gone are the inconsistent, just random colors. You go from one scene where their skin tones were orangey yellow to another scene where they're really white to another scene where they're kind of brownish. It's consistent throughout this where their skin tones look lifelike and realistic. Now, I'm not saying that they all look the exact same every scene, but the lighting on their face. I'm talking about their skin tones when they be outside would sometimes change on that one. That's gone. Now it's consistent throughout it. Now there was some slight color variations on this 4K release, but when I say slight, what I mean by that is there'll be a scene like where one of them will be standing outside and it's like brief millisecond. You would notice like the color of their uniform just slightly go lighter and then back to the natural color that it's graded throughout it. Now those are just instabilities that are very brief, very slight, and I'm being extremely nitpicky when I'm pointing those out. Otherwise, 99.9% of people are never going to notice those. It's just things when I go through all my testing and sit there that I notice tiny little details like that. Otherwise, this is one of those just absolutely transformative viewing experiences over the previous Blu-ray release. Now, like I mentioned, this does have HDR10 and Dolby Vision on it. Between the Dolby Vision and the HDR10, I will say there wasn't too much of a difference between those. They were both very enjoyable and very good looking viewing experiences with that color grading. They did a great job across the board between both of those. So you don't have really a one-up between the HDR10 or Dolby Vision on this. Now, like I talked about with High Plains Drifter, if you haven't checked out that early review, that one's about 3 weeks early as well here. But with that one, there was a slight difference between the Dolby Vision and HDR10. And in that one, you'll want to watch that review. I talk about that. But in this, you do notice that between the two of them, there's not really much of a variance. They were both very good and very strong uses of the HDR. Now, this is presented in its original aspect ratio of 1.85 to 1. They didn't cut it down or change it or edit it at all, so that's good news. Audio-wise, this does get an English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and a 2.0 mix. Now, the 5.1 audio mix on this did sound better in clarity and depth than the previous Blu-ray release. How much better? I'd say it was about a 15% upgrade that I noticed audio-wise, that I could hear things like more of the background noises when they're walking out in the city and the clip-clopping of shoes and little details that were slightly missing from the Blu-ray that were harder to hear are now more evident and easier to hear, as well as their voices when they're talking. Sometimes they're whispering when they're trying to sneak around. And on the Blu-ray, they were slightly softer and not as present, their voices. You could hear it much better on this. So I did appreciate that the audio sounded better on this as well. Now you do get subtitles on this in English, but only English. Now, like I was talking about with the 2012 Blu-ray release, it was very hazy and muddled and just a muddled appearance and muddled release overall. That's all gone from this. You don't have to deal with the haziness. You don't have to deal with the just overall issues with like how it had image instabilities and the digital noise. This doesn't have any black crush. It didn't have any blocking. It didn't have any digital noise. The film grain was very stable throughout the entire film. I didn't really even notice any fluctuations at all. It's very noticeable that you can see the film grain, but it's not too heavy that it's like overly done. You can just see the film grains there. It's light, but it's incredibly stable throughout the entire thing with almost no fluctuations that I could notice throughout it at all. Now, if after you get done watching this review and hearing my review score, you decide you want to pick up and buy Mystery Men on 4K Ultra HD, I put the link directly from Amazon down in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. You click on that, it takes you straight out to Amazon. I always make it nice and easy for all of you. It never costs you even a penny extra when you click on those Amazon links, and it's on sale for the same prices everywhere. So because this review is about 3 weeks early, you can go down there and pre-order it. If you're watching it after this comes out, you can buy it through that link down there below. It ships anywhere worldwide. Never costs you anything extra, but it does help to support this YouTube channel just a little bit. So make sure to click through those links down below. Now, this new 4K has dramatically increased details and depth to the image with that HDR and Dolby Vision. The lights to darks are outstanding on it, but like I said, without getting into the black crush area, because a lot of this film is a more darker at night. There is daytime scenes, but there's a lot of it that takes place at night in the dark and then roaming around in the city and things like that. And it looks so beautiful on this that I was really blown away that it looked so much like what I originally saw in theaters that has been missing for so many years. It really just brought me back in time and was such an enjoyable viewing experience to see this the way that it is on this 4K release. Now, showing you what you get in this release. I absolutely love this new cover artwork with the black and the different colors behind it that Kino Lorber did where it says Mystery Men. Absolutely love this cover artwork. Outstanding job with that. You do get a slipcover here, though keep in mind with Kino Lorber's releases, these slipcovers are very limited editions. That means First pressings only get these slipcovers. After that, they go out of print and then they become big collectibles as these slipcovers. So just keep that in mind if you're wanting this. Don't wait too long to order yours because you'll miss out on the slipcover. And I do like these slipcovers. On the bookcase, they look really good together with Kino Lorber's releases. It says Mystery Men on it. On the back here, it talks about all your special features. It's not missing anything from the previous Blu-ray release. You get all those included in this. And the film does run 122 minutes, so it's a well-paced action adventure comedy. And when I say comedy, you really need to go into this kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like Austin Powers comedy where it's over the top dumb, but it is dumb comedy. It's just kind of done with the sense of don't take it too serious, tongue-in-cheek, and it's Ben Stiller being over the top, kind of like Heavyweights Ben Stiller, though he's not a bad guy in this. But if you've seen Heavyweights, which is one of my like favorite growing up like childhood movies, I love that movie. This is Ben Stiller heavyweight style, crazy, going out there, and I love it. I love Ben Stiller like that, and that's why I liked this movie. If you didn't like Ben Stiller and Heavyweights, you're probably not going to like this film, so just understand that. Ben Stiller, he's got kind of that wild, zany out there. Dodgeball, if you've seen Dodgeball and you remember that one, that's how his character is in this. He's wild, he's zany, he's in your face, and I mean, even the way I was just moving, that's kind of how he is. He's just kind of like, you know, anyhow, I like Ben Stiller in this, but keep that in mind, that is the way he is in this film. Now, when you get inside here, you do get your Blu-ray disc, and that is Region A locked, and you get your 4K Ultra HD disc. Blu-ray is a BD50, 4K is region free, and it's a BD100. And there's an important reason for that. They didn't overcompress the content on this. It looked great because of that. Again, Kino Lorber not cutting corners, shoving it on a BD66 to try to save money. They gave us a BD100, and that is why it helps so greatly with the image because it's not overcompressed. This new Dolby Vision and HDR10 master they did with the new 4K scan from the original camera negatives is really just a gorgeous experience for this 4K Ultra HD. And I really never thought I'd be able to say that Mystery Men is gorgeous, but it really does look that good. I couldn't believe the things I'm seeing. And the images above, they don't even do it justice. I'm just telling you, when you see it on your own home display with Dolby Vision on here, or HDR10, you will be blown away at the quality of this release and how good of a job Kino Lorber did with this. Getting to my review score for Mystery Men from Kino Lorber. This gets a phenomenal 9.7. This is not only a must-buy, you better be going down there and clicking on that link down there to order yours as soon as possible because that is how good of a release this was. Wow. Transformative viewing experience for Mystery Men over the previous Blu-ray. I can't even explain to you how trashy it makes that Blu-ray release actually look and how trashy it makes that Blu-ray release ever seem that you'll never ever watch that again. You'll never want to watch it. You'll think, man, that was just a crappy Blu-ray release in comparison to what Kino Lorber has done for this absolutely phenomenal 4K Ultra HD release. Now the Blu-ray on here does contain the new transfer as well. So for those of you that want to get the Blu-ray option and can't watch the 4K yet and you want to be able to get this slipcover while it's in print, good news is the Blu-ray is not the old 2012 transfer, the horrible transfer. It is the new transfer that they did with the new scan, obviously dumbed down to 1080p without obviously the Dolby Vision and HDR10. So that's good news for you as well, though keep in mind, if you are wanting to import this outside of the US, that Blu-ray disc is Region A locked. So, good news though, absolutely phenomenal release. This is a must-buy. You got to go down there and buy it through those links I posted down below. Kino Lorber, I don't even know how to say knocking it out of the park. I say that a lot some of the times with some of these great releases. I need to come up with something else to say other than knocking it out of the park. But really, I mean, I can't think of blew it out of the park. I don't know. It's just 9.7. When you see this in comparison to all the releases, this truly is a 9.7 and a transformative viewing experience for a film that I just never thought would get this much love. And I'm happy it did because it is one of those films I really enjoy watching. I had a great time watching it again. I see Mystery Men now. I went to see it in theaters once. And then when I got it on DVD, I think I watched it twice before I got the Blu-ray. And then I watched the Blu-ray 3 times. And then I watched it again here. So that gives you an idea how many times I've seen Mystery Men. This is the closest it is to the original viewing experience when I saw it in theaters. Color grading, image quality, outstanding. Just what a great job they've done with this release. Start the conversation in the comment section below and let me know if you've seen Mystery Men before. If you liked it, if you saw it originally in theaters. I'm always curious who's seen a lot of these films. I mean, this came out in 1999, so I'm kind of curious who's seen it and went to see it back then, and if you remember it, if you loved the film, if you hated the film. I enjoyed the film. I think it's a great comedy and just a fun time. Make sure to start that conversation in the comment section below. Let me know if you're excited for this release now that you've seen my review and heard my review score. Make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. If you decide you're going to buy this or pick this up now, make sure to click through those Amazon links I posted in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. If you also want to help support this YouTube channel, you can join my Collectors VIP Club. That's the best way possible to support the creation of these videos and to help me to be able to keep creating these videos. It's always through my VIP Club members, and I want to say thank you to all my VIP Club members. You truly do make a difference in the creation of these videos, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you VIP Club members, because you are what make all of these videos and all this content possible. So make sure to join my Collectors VIP Club or give a super thanks to the super thanks button down below. I hope all of you have a blessed day. I hope you're really excited about Mystery Men. I was. Such a great release. Don't know how many times I can say that, but such a great release. Anyhow, I've always got something new and exciting coming out very soon.